In this video, we're going to show you the installation of the Masterflow metal slantback roof louver, otherwise known as the SSB. As you can see, we've already centered this roof louver in between the rafters. We went inside, drove, in this case, a screwdriver through the decking on the underneath side, which will indicate the center between our rafters. Now we're going to prepare to cut the shingles out to get to the decking. Best way to determine where I'm going to cut my hole out for my roof louver, I've made a template out of cardboard, and I'm going to place it over the indicator between the rafters, and then I'm going to trace around that to determine where I'm going to cut my shingles out. Now that I've got my template marked, I'm going to take my hook blade, I'm going to cut through my shingles to get down to the decking, and then we'll start cutting our hole. Now we're going to get our marker down and we're going to cut our hole out. Get a paddle bit, drill a hole through the decking so we can cut out our round hole with a saw. The saw that I like to use to cut out my decking is a jigsaw because of the blade length. Sometimes when you use a sawzall, you'll get a blade that's too long, and then you run the risk of getting into your framing, and you definitely don't want to cut a rafter because that'll affect your structure strength. Now that I have my opening into the deck, it's time to mount my louver. And you want to make sure that the hole is centered over the hole that you cut. So the easiest way to do that is to look at it from the side and just drop it into place. For added protection against the elements, you can take a mastic sealant and put a bead around the opening to the roof louver and then affix it to the roof to help keep the weather out. When nailing off your roof louver, you want to make sure that you nail it approximately every 4 inches. You can also achieve that by nailing it through the shingle into the base flashing. Another detail that you want to pay attention to when you're installing these roof louvers is to cutting the dog ear off the top of your shingles. That way, when the water comes down to the top of this shingle, it won't catch that shingle and run the water into your roof system. It'll direct it into the space and out of your roof. Any exposed nail heads, you can just simply use a matching caulking and cover those up to seal out the weather. Now that our Masterflow roof louver has been mounted, we'll go ahead and shingle this thing up. Check out more videos on Masterflow products at GAF.com.